Hello, welcome to Moist Nougat. I am the kid. I generally wish happy birthdays the week before the birthday, and I didn't forget my wife's birthday, but I forgot to wish her a happy birthday last week. So I'm going to say happy birthday, Kyle. Her birthday was 2 days ago, and it was not. We didn't do anything special, really. I feel bad about it. I really do. I was gonna go out and get like something decent for dinner. It was totally up to her, whatever she wanted, and we kind of just had a day where we watched some British baking show, and she made homemade popcorn, and I ate popcorn, and for some reason, when it got to be about dinner time, my stomach went completely south. And yeah, it's like 20 degrees outside, and my allergies are still kicking my ass. So I feel kind of bad. So she was fine with it. I just owe her a dinner. And, I guess when you get into your 40s and 50s and stuff, the birthdays just aren't quite as exciting as they were when you were in your 20s and 30s, and younger. I mean, they're actually the most exciting when you're a kid. We did not quit smoking, and we planned on it, and I think that it's mainly my fault. Because I woke up Monday and I don't know. I woke up on the wrong side of the bed, and I was getting a couple things just pissed me off, and I was getting irritated, and I ended up having a cigarette, and I didn't smoke as many cigarettes that day, but I know I'm gonna keep making excuses. We are planning on quitting, and it's gonna happen at some point in the near future. But I basically I didn't talk her into getting more cigarettes, but I was going to get more cigarettes for myself. And I said, you want some or not? And she said, this is the last time. This was it. So when we run out, we run out. And I have to come up with a plan in the next few days, because the little inhaler things, I'm going to need some sort of nicotine gum, I guess, or lozenges or patch or whatever. I'm going to have to try something like that. Moving on from cigarettes. The Packers play tonight. They won last week. They beat the fucking Cowboys. It was awesome. They didn't just beat them. They manhandled them. Nobody thought that the Packers were going to be able to beat the Cowboys, especially in Dallas. And they did it. And they looked pretty good. They play the 49ers tonight, and that's going to be a tough game, and it's in San Francisco. It's not going to be an easy game, but you can decide the winner on paper, but they play the games for a reason, because you never know what's going to happen. So I'm a Packers fan tonight, even though I'm wearing my Broncos hoodie. And I'm wearing my Broncos hoodie because it's fucking cold outside, and I know I wish for cold. And we're getting it, because it's freaking cold out. It's getting down into the teens, and that's cold for North Carolina. The worst part of that, though, is that in 3 or 4 days, it's going to be almost 70 degrees. So that's going to feel like, 115 degrees. And then it's going to cool off again. So that's North Carolina winters for you. Still I haven't finished the invention that's going to raise my glasses, because that's all I need them to do is just be like that high, just like that. So I just need like something that's about that deep, right there. I was flipping off the camera. That's what I was doing. I'm supposed to be next door, hanging out with my wife and her sister and niece and parents, kind of like a birthday celebration, and I'm doing this instead. And I was on the fence. Should I do it? Should I? So I'm kind of a little bit. I'm not unprepared, but I was having trouble coming up with like a really what's new. I mean, seriously, what's fucking new? So the only thing I came up with was it's not the only thing I came up with, but time permitting, without having to do, a lot of, Google searches and this and that, is I'm just going to have a rant episode. And you might say, well, what's different with this episode than most other episodes? You always have a rant. I do. I'm a rant kind of person. And it is what it is. Take me or leave me. But as usual, I'm having trouble with the seeing my notes. But what I did, here's the first thing that pissed me, and this is what actually made me think of, why I just want to bitch about some shit, is I know I've talked about, and I probably talked about a lot of this stuff, but our mail carrier, again, we've been here almost 4 years, and I still get mail from this one woman. I get mail for just about everybody at this house once in a while, but this lady that lived here before us with her son and daughter-in-law, I don't know. We still have people knocking at the door for this woman. We haven't in a while, but I get mail for her all the time. And, I used to just go out and get the mail and come back. And then I was like, oh shit, now I got to walk back out to the mailbox and put this, put the flag up. And, so now I look at all the mail before I bring it back. And generally I have to put something back in the mailbox and flip the flag up. Well, I did this a couple days ago. Got a piece of mail. It was the only piece of mail that was in the mailbox. It wasn't for us. It was for this woman. So I stuck it back in there and flipped the flag up. And the next day, the mail guy came. And it's always a different mail person. So I can't blame one particular person, because it seems like there's like 17 different fucking people that deliver the mail. I don't know how that works. You'll have to ask the postmaster how that works. I have no fucking idea. But anyways, so I put that piece of mail back in there, flip the flag up. Next day I go out there. Not only is that piece of mail in the mailbox, but 2 other pieces of mail for that same woman are in the mailbox. And I'm like, that's it. That was all that was in the mailbox. So I stick it back in there and put the flag up. And the next day comes, which was, I believe the day before yesterday, or no, maybe yesterday. Anyways, I put the flag up. Well, the mail guy never even stopped and got the mail out. Apparently we didn't have any mail for our address, so he just drove on by. Flag was up. He didn't stop and get the mail out. So I went out and I took the mail and I kind of bent it so it went into the mailbox. I think I pissed him off, which is good, because that's what I was fucking trying to do, was piss him off. But I put it in there where they couldn't put any mail in without taking that mail out. And they took it out. They put one piece back in because it was for her or current address. And they actually took the time to take a Sharpie and scratch her name off and put that piece back in, instead of just fucking throwing it away. They obviously I didn't want it, so I know I pissed them off. So I have this ongoing battle with it's on now. Let's put it that way. I don't care. I don't get anything important in the mail, and it's their fucking job. I'm not a person to say, well, that's not my job, but this literally is their fucking job. I mean, when I have to mail something, when I actually have to, like our garbage people they don't have it set up. Like it's the only check we write. They send a thing in the mail, and we pay every 3 months, and we have to literally write a fucking check, and we put a stamp on it. The only reason we buy stamps, and the only reason we have checks. And I literally drop it in the mailbox when I'm out, like at the actual post office. I drive up and I put it in the fucking mailbox. Because if I put it in our mailbox and put the flag up, I have no fucking idea what's going to happen to it, because I don't know. Slightly frustrating. Stupid, but frustrating. Because all we get is junk mail in other people's mail. That's it. That's all we get. Which, and when I happen to be outside and they pull up, you can hear them talking, coming down the street. You can hear them talking. They're on their phone. They got their fucking, Bluetooth earbuds in, and they're yakking on the fucking phone. They're not paying attention to what the fuck they're doing. They're yakking on the fucking phone. I mean, you think, we've been here 4 years, you think that they would know that there's only 2 names, because my wife doesn't have my last name. She kept her name because she was in the science industry or field or whatever you want to call it. And it's just amazing. I understand why women have to go through hell when they get married and have to change their name, their driver's license, their, Social Security, they have to do all that shit. And I was like, I'm fine with it. But, I just jotted this shit down. So it comes, I'm going to skip down way farther on my list. Customer service and having pride in what you do. And I get it. If you work at fucking Burger King, or you work fast food, it's hard to have pride. It's a shit job. It is. It's a shit job. But believe me, I worked at Burger King when I was in high school. It's a shit job. And I didn't work there long, but, when I was there, I did what I was supposed to do, and I did my job. Whereas people now, they think that they're supposed to get paid, a premium wage, but you can't even put a fucking napkin or straw in my fucking bag. Or you put the wrong goddamn bun on my burger. Last time I went to Burger King, because I've been eating we don't eat fast food a lot, but we did a couple weeks ago. We got Burger King, and I always get like the classic, chicken sandwich combo or whatever, and I always get a bacon double cheeseburger, and the bun on the bacon double cheeseburger was wasn't the right bun. It wasn't a sesame seed bun. I mean, I ate it, but it just didn't taste the same because it was like one of those pretzel buns almost. It wasn't the right bun. And I'm thinking, this motherfucker at Burger King, instead of walking back and getting more buns, the right kind of buns, he just used the buns, or she, or whatever, just used the buns that were right there because they were too fucking lazy, have no pride in their job, and just don't give a fuck. And, if you don't give a fuck, then quit. If you don't think you took the job, you knew what it paid, you knew what you had to do, and if you don't think you get paid enough, then quit your fucking job. I mean, it's as simple as that. But don't fuck the people that are paying for that service or for that food, you're screwing those people. You're not screwing your boss. You're not screwing the company. You're screwing the customers that are using their hard-earned money to get a meal and take it home and hopefully enjoy it. But when you fuck it up, I mean, one time I got a like McDonald's, which I won't eat McDonald's anymore. I'm boycotting McDonald's. Their prices are fucking through the roof. It's ridiculous. I'm sorry, McDonald's. It's not a $6 or $7 burger, let alone a $8 or $9 burger. Just not. The only time I want McDonald's is when you're really craving McDonald's, and that's what you crave. But yeah, I won't go there anymore. I mean, a while back I went to McDonald's and Burger King because I wanted Burger King. I think that was the night that I got the wrong burger. My wife wasn't feeling great, so she just wanted like chicken McNuggets. I got her like a chicken McNugget, like a 10-piece chicken McNugget combo, and I went and got my Burger King, the classic chicken sandwich combo, large, and a bacon double cheeseburger. And it was only like $3 and change more than a 10-piece chicken McNugget. I got 2 fucking sandwiches, fries, and a drink. She got 10 goddamn chicken McNuggets, fries, and a drink, and it was like $3 less. And if you would have added in like a quarter pounder, but that's what I was talking about, was the quarter pounder. This was probably a year or two ago. But I mean, it's like every time we go out and get food, they fuck something up. I mean, it's like you got to freaking open everything up and check it. And you're in a drive-thru and people are in a hurry and they're behind you. And it's like, you shouldn't have to, but my wife was out and she stopped at McDonald's and got stuff. And I got a quarter pounder with cheese. When she got home, we got it out and, I opened up my quarter pounder with cheese, which was in a box that said quarter pounder. And it was like not even the right fucking burger. It was a completely different burger. It was not a quarter pounder. And it's not even worth it to like go back, because number one, you're going to argue with somebody. It's going to turn into a fucking argument with somebody that works there. And it's 15-minute drive to the damn place from where we live. So you're looking at a half hour. It's like, whatever, I'm fucking hungry. I'll just fucking eat it. And that's how they get away with it, because people are just like, fuck, I don't want to, thank God they don't ask for tips at those places. I went on a lot longer about fast food. It wasn't even on my list necessarily. But just customer service. It doesn't exist anymore. I mean, some places you go and if you're lucky enough to find a cashier or a sales associate or whatever that's knows what they're doing and they're nice to people and they do their job because they care. It feels like it's few and far between now. I mean, I find myself like, buying groceries or whatever if I'm shopping, and I give them my money and all that, and I'm thanking them, and they're just like, whatever, can't be bothered to say thank you or how are you doing today? Thanks for shopping here, because it helps pay me. And just pride in your work, like I said, if you don't like your job and you don't think you get paid enough, this quiet quit bullshit, like we're just going to do the bare minimum, and like I said, you're screwing the people that pay for your services or business. You're not necessarily screwing your bosses or the company that you work for. So it's a kind of a fucking dopey fucking attitude to have. But it is what it is. I mean, like I always said, it's work ethic. It just is. And some people have it and some people don't. I mean, there's still people that take pride in their work out there. I'm not saying nobody does anymore, but it's just, just retail and fast food and, yes, I get it. They're not great jobs, but you took the job. So do your fucking job or quit. I got an email yesterday from my car insurance place, and I'm not going to name them, saying that my new monthly bill is going to be almost $35 more a month. I have no idea why. So now I have to get a bunch of insurance quotes, and I need to call this company. Funny because I got the game on my computer over here, and there's a fucking Allstate commercial. That's the thing. They spend all their money on fucking commercials, and that's not who I have insurance through. But I was with Nationwide basically almost my entire life until I moved to Texas. Never had any issues. Always thought the rates were, decent. Moved to Texas, and because Texas is like a no-fault state or whatever, insurance, they wanted like an ungodly amount of money. They wanted like almost $4,000 a year. And here in North Carolina, we were paying like, $1,000 a year for 2 cars, full coverage, but so we had to switch insurance companies. We had to find one that we could actually afford because that was just fucking ridiculous. And then when we moved back to North Carolina, the company that we had gotten in Texas, the rates actually went down like a lot because it's just cheaper here in North Carolina. This taxes are cheaper, in Texas and Florida and this and that. Well, I don't know about Florida because I've never lived in Florida. In Texas, yeah, certain things are cheaper, but they make it up, like with insurance. Property tax is fucking like ridiculous out there. The house I owned before we moved to Texas, the property tax on that house, if it was in Texas, would have been quadruple what it was in North Carolina, if not more, just through the roof. But insurance is just fucking ridiculous. Never made a claim ever. Even with Nationwide or this company that I'm with, I've never made a claim, and yet it just keeps going up and up and up, and I'm like, what the fuck? So yeah, now I gotta call them and fucking haggle them, and I'm going to get some quotes first so I can, say, hey, so-and-so, this company gave me this rate. And I was in the midst of doing that with Allstate, actually. No, it wasn't. It wasn't Allstate. It was State Farm. So I went online and, I got almost to the end of, putting all my information in. Their fucking website crashed. And I was like, and this was yesterday, and I was like, you know what? It's the weekend. I'm not going to fucking deal with this shit. I'll deal with it Monday. I'm going to enjoy the weekend. Sounds like I'm enjoying my weekend, doesn't it? But yeah, we have car and renter's insurance, but renter's insurance is relative. The renter's insurance is not affecting our rate. It's like I said, no accidents, never made a claim, bills always paid on time. It's auto draft, so never had a late payment, no tickets. I just don't understand how, if it went up a couple dollars it'd be one thing, but almost $33 and change or something. How does it go up $33 and change? It's whatever, $600 a fucking year or something. I don't know what it is. Don't quote me on that. All right, we'll move on from that. I'll update you. I told my wife when she walked in before I move on from that one, because she was up talking to her dad, and I told her, she walked in and could tell that I was irritated about something. I said, well, we're going to have to sell one of the cars because we can't afford to insure 2 of them. just out of curiosity, I don't know if anybody could actually answer this question, and I know some of the reasons possibly, but I don't have many followers on social media. I don't have many listeners on this podcast. I don't have many viewers on my YouTube channel. And I actually do shit though. Like I try. And I like I said before, I don't give a fuck. I know I'm never going to make any money doing this. I do it. It's my entertainment. It's fun. I enjoy doing it sometimes. But like on TikTok, I'll be swiping through, or somebody will follow me, and like I try to look at the people that follow me on TikTok. I try to look and see, but I'm like, if you don't have any content, I'm not going to follow you, and because what am I following? I don't know what the hell I'm following. I'm not just gonna follow you because you followed me. Like make a video, do something. But I never understand. Like I got, whatever, 260 some followers on TikTok. Woohoo. But I look at somebody that's got no content and they got like 10,000 followers. How the fuck do you get, what are people following? You have no content. There's nothing to follow. There's not even like a profile picture of like boobies or something. It's just like, I guess the only thing I can say is that like somebody follows you, so you just follow them back. It's just kind of like and so they just follow like a billion fucking people, and 10,000 people have followed them back. I'm not care if I have. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It would be cool to have 100,000 followers or whatever, and actually maybe make a couple of dollars doing this shit or doing the videos or whatever. But I don't do it for that reason, and I try to do my best for the people that do listen or do watch my videos. So I don't know. It doesn't really piss me off because I don't really care, but I'm curious. Like how the hell, like you don't have any videos or any content, and you have like 30,000 followers or 10,000 followers, and I'm at episode 128, and I don't have 10. So I don't know. Somebody explain that to me, please. Okay. I sleep with the TV on. Like I can't sleep in dead silence. Number one, I have like tinnitus or something in this ear. That's another product of being in Texas for 2 years. It started there. Texas didn't make it happen. It just happened, but I don't know why it happened when it happened. Yes, I used to play in rock bands and for a lot of years didn't wear earplugs and shit like that. But it had been years since I did any of that, and then all of a sudden my ears started ringing. And some days it's bad, and other days it's, I can tune it out. It's irritating sometimes when it gets bad, though, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's fucking there. But so, like I said, I need like noise, and I know the TV, like I did the other night, or I've been trying to not leave the TV on, and I've been trying to, or put the YouTube like sleep kind of thing that runs for like 12 hours, and it's like ocean waves or thunderstorms or whatever. And another thing from Texas is because the friggin' spiders and I still like generally sleep with the light on, because when I was in Texas, and I probably talked about this before, but it was so goddamn creepy where we lived that I started sleeping with the light on, because if something was crawling on me, I wanted to be able to wake up and immediately have light, and I didn't want to try to find a light to figure out what the fuck was crawling on me. And it's almost like, and I'm not belittling or anything, like PS PS, whatever the fuck it is, post-traumatic stress disorder syndrome, whatever they call it now. Everything changes all the time, so it's hard. I mean, it's been that way for a long time, I know, but I just, for some reason, it's not coming to my tongue. But at any rate, I leave the TV on for background noise. It's usually like Dateline or 48 Hours or some kind of crime show. It's probably the worst thing to sleep to, but actually it works better than, like, I find if it's something that's, I find those shows interesting, but I can fall asleep to them. Whereas if I'm watching something else, I feel like I get interested in it and I can't fall asleep because I'm watching it. Or this, I can just turn over and I'm not even looking at the TV. It's just basically, having noise in the background. But now all these apps and shit will just turn off. Like, and when the TV goes off, within 15 or 20 minutes, I wake up because the TV went off. It's like something in my brain tells me, like, oh, something's wrong. And even like Netflix will do it. Like, you'll be in the middle of a fucking show or something. Are you still watching? Like, yes. Like, when did Netflix or Peacock or any of them decide that they have to turn the TV off because I'm not paying attention? I'll turn the fucking thing off when I'm done watching it or when I want to turn it off. If I want to leave it on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, I'm the one that's paying for the electricity. I'm the one that's like, just fucking leave it alone. That fucking really does irritate me. Especially when, like, you wake up and it'll say, like, oh, are you still watching? And it's like, yeah. And it's like literally in the middle of an episode. It's like, wouldn't you wait till the end of an episode and go, all right, well, they watched that episode, but, I don't know. Maybe it's because people turn channels 1,000 times or something. I don't really know. But I don't know. It fucking irritates me. Just I'll turn the TV on when I want to watch it. And when I'm done watching it, I'll turn it off. Plain and simple. I'm going to move on from that. And I'm actually going to take a fucking smoke. So I'll be back in just a few minutes. All right. I'm never going to get through all my rants. There's not enough hours in the day probably for me to get through all my rants. Just a couple like minor ones. Well, not really minor, because I'm a schedule oriented type person. I like to have a plan, and if we say we're going to do this and then I drive there, then all of a sudden we're doing this, like, you all change your mind while I was on my way here. It's kind of annoying to me. I don't know why it's so hard to have a plan or a schedule and stick to it. When people say, well, I'll come over this afternoon. Well, that's any time from, 12:01 to, 5 o'clock. I'm not fucking sitting around for 5 hours waiting for, tell me what time. What time are you fucking coming? What time are we doing this? Or if you need me to do something, tell me a time. Don't say, well, we're going to do it sometime this afternoon. Well, like I said, I'm not going to like drive to your house and wait 4 hours to do what I came there to help you do. Hey, let's have a plan and let's stick to the plan. I know shit happens and you're not always going to be, precisely on time all the time, but, this 5 hour window doesn't work for me. Or, we're going for pizza, and then I get there because I'm hungry for pizza. I'm like, yeah, I'll do that. And then we get there and we're like, no, we don't want pizza. We want Chinese. Well, I don't want Chinese. I wanted pizza. So if you would have said you were going for Chinese, I would have said, oh, maybe next time. And texting. I hate texting. And it's unfortunately like a necessary fucking evil now. But I had a job where I got like so many emails in a day, and the text to me is the same thing as a fucking email. It's a neat tool, a useful tool if you just have like a quick question, or like, hey, are you home? Or hey, I forgot to tell you to grab milk. But when it turns into like a conversation back and forth for like an hour, it's like, no, I'm already irritated now, because I am not a phone person. I don't like, but if I'm going to talk to somebody, I'd rather talk to them on the phone, like hold it up to my ear, or use Bluetooth or speaker or whatever. I'm not a big fan of the whole speaker thing, but because when I'm at the grocery store, I don't need to hear your conversation that you're having with somebody. I just don't. I don't need to hear that. It's bad enough that I'm hearing one end of it most of the time, but now I'm hearing both ends of it. And I don't want to hear it. Not a big fan of texting. Like I said, happy birthday or congratulations, or, but when it turns into a conversation, like let's dial the number, which you don't even have to do anymore. All you have to do is just look their name up and hit the phone icon, and voila. Yeah, since there was a big pause, I'm gonna go ahead and take a swig of beer. Something that's really bad, and I know this is for everybody, and everybody can rant about this, is the prices of everything now. It's fucking ridiculous. Groceries, car insurance, rent, just everything. I mean, you're getting nickeled and dimed to death. I mean, even with your Hulu's going up, Netflix is going up, Paramount's going up, and now Amazon is going to add commercials. In a little over a week, they're going to start putting ads in, and if you don't want the ads, you got to pay another $3. Really? Come on, Amazon. You're a fucking multi-billion-dollar company, and you're going to charge me $3 to watch. Like, number one, if you had better content, I mean, you have some good shit, but I mean, some of your movies, I mean, Jesus Christ, they're fucking 30 years old, and they weren't even a good movie 30 years ago. So why am I going to pay you $3 to watch a shitty movie without commercials? Obviously, probably going to keep Prime just for the free shipping and whatever, Like, if they start coming out with really good shit, then maybe I'll pay the $3 more. And that's what they're hoping. It's like, oh, maybe we'll... But they're like, oh, it's the cost of doing business. And, this is more, and this is, bullshit. Like, how much money do you have to make? And I know that's one of my biggest rants all the time. How much fucking money do you need? Especially when we're just coming off the writer's strike and all that, where there hasn't been a whole lot of new content, and you're jacking prices up. Like, and now, I get it. We're getting to that point now where all the shows are going to start, the fall season shows are going to start back up. But it's just, it's only $3. Well, yeah, it's $3 from Amazon, and it's, $4 from Hulu, and it's $6 from YouTube TV, and it's, the internet is going up, 5 times a fucking year. Fuck you, Spectrum. Sorry, but Spectrum, you're friggin' leeches. You've raised my friggin' internet price like not this year yet, but I'm waiting for that, because I'm hearing that they're going to raise the prices on the rental for the wireless router or whatever. Well, you can have the piece of shit back. I'll go buy one. But they're raising their TV prices, and they're raising this, and they're raising that, and their time with me is just another price hike away from me being done with Spectrum. And you know what? I don't care about calling people out when they need to be called out. They're greedy fuckers, and you know, there's no reason somebody needs to be paying $90 or $100 for fucking internet. I mean, that's ridiculous. Cell phones, the same thing. You know, Verizon, you know, yeah, we're the best. They all claim to be the best, but you can't all be the best. There's only one that has the most coverage. There's only one that is the best. There's only one that has the least amount of drop calls, and there's only one that has the best 5G. I mean, and they all say they do, and it's like, well, it's literally impossible. You all can't be the best, or you'd all be exactly the same, and then it would just be like, who has the best price? Again, it's just, you know, we're so inundated with advertising, and you know, the commercial comes up, you know, for the 175th time during a 3-hour football game, but then the fine print comes up and it's only up there for like a second. I mean, number one, it's so small you can't read it anyways. Even if it was there and you pause your TV, you'd have to like walk up to your TV and get your face right up so you could read it. But it generally is for new customers only. Like Spectrum, like they don't even know who their fucking customers are. Like I literally, this happens every month when I make my payment for the internet. And we have our cell phones through Spectrum too, and you know, that's cheaper than we were paying with Verizon, like $100 a month cheaper. But the internet, like I don't auto draft that because it's gone up too many times. And it's like, I want to know. So I want to see my bill, and if it goes up, I want to know why. Because they don't give you a warning. It just, like, all of a sudden, like, here's your monthly bill, and it went up $10. And it's like, what the fuck? You don't give me a heads up. You don't tell me. You just, now my bill is going to be $10 more, and you tell me, you know, a week before my bill's due or whatever. But this happens every month. Every month. I go in, I pay the bill, and it's usually like, you know, all my bills on my calendar, I have them set up like at least 7 days before they're actually due. And I go in there and I pay, and I usually put it like the day before it's actually due, just in case there's a hiccup somewhere. But I get an email from them like saying, thank you for scheduling your payment or whatever. And then the day that it posts, it says, thank you for your payment. And then like 6 hours later, I get a payment or another email saying your payment's due. And it's like, oh, this should all be coming from the billing department. Like, does the left hand not know what the fucking right hand's doing? The payment's already posted, and now you're telling me that my payment's due. Like, that payment should have came, or that email should have came 6 hours before the other email. But I don't know, these billion-dollar companies, and they, like I said, the left hand doesn't know what the fucking right hand's doing. It's kind of fucking pathetic. But yeah, just the prices of everything. It's just, we're being nickeled and dimed to death, and you get less even though you're paying more. Like that's the whole, shrinkflation is the new thing. There, you used to get a bag of Doritos, and I don't know specifically, I'm just using this as an example. A bag of Doritos, let's say it was, 18 ounces, and it was, back before everything went up $2. Let's say a bag of Doritos was $3.99 for 18-ounce bag. Now it's $5.99 for a 16-ounce bag or a 15-ounce bag. So you're getting less product, but they're charging you more. And they think we're all fucking stupid and we don't realize this. But a lot of us are stupid, but not all of us are stupid. In the advertising, we're just inundated. Everywhere you go, it's you try to read an article on your phone, there's ads that are popping up. There's half the thing is an ad. You can't even read the article. You're just like, screw it. TV commercials, radio commercials, signs, billboard signs. It's just everywhere. We're so inundated with advertising that it's disgusting. And it's almost scary, but like, you're so used to it. That's the thing. We just get used to it and we just allow it to happen. We just let it happen. And we're in charge. We could be in charge, but we don't. Collectively, we need to get together and go, you know what? We're you know what? Fuck you, Prime. If you're gonna, put ads in your thing, then we're all canceling Prime. And a lot of people said they were, but once you have to pay for shipping 4 or 5 times, you'll be like, it's kind of worth it, because I'll spend, the yearly subscription. I'll spend that in shipping in a month. So, yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like, I don't watch enough shit on Amazon, or I'm going to worry about it right now. And it depends on, because I don't mind, a few commercials, but it's like a lot of these shows will, or networks or whatever, or these streaming services, whatever I'm trying to say, they will, you watch like the first 15 minutes and there won't be any ads. And you're like, it's not bad. There's not going to be that many. You watch like a 30-second ad before the show starts, and then you're 15 minutes in and you're like, okay. And then there's an ad. And you're like, well, 15 minutes. It's so I'm only going to have to watch, commercials like 3 times throughout the whole thing. But it's like, no. Once that first wave of commercials hits, it's not another 15 minutes before you get more commercials. This is like another 6 minutes, and then there's more commercials. Then it's like another 5 or 6 minutes and more commercials. Like, it just, they start bunching them together. And like, you can't even watch something when there's that many commercials. It's something that should be enjoyable, because money and greed, they have made it so it's not even an enjoyable experience. And for somebody like my wife and I, that we don't go out and do a whole lot, because, shit, just to go bowling or go to the movies, you're looking at, and you're just looking at a ton of fucking money. You're looking at $125 to go bowling and get food, or go to the movies and go out to dinner. So yeah, it's well, some people just have more money than they even know what to do with, and they couldn't spend it in 25 lifetimes. But anyways, I'm going a little bit long, so I'm going to end my rant here and call this one an episode. Thanks for listening or watching, if you watch, and I appreciate it, and we'll catch you next time.